Hi, everybody. Hi. Let me say hi to everyone. Are you all excited? We're less than a week away. Okay. Hi, Nigma, Carol, Reina, Darren, Leah, OSP, Kathleen, Eva, Christy. I am Claudia, H. Erickson, Nigma, Amy, Cindy, HD. My dog is barking because he's trying to catch my attention. He's gonna come here and he's gonna want to come to my lap. Okay, 1 second, baby. Wait, let me get your. Okay, come here. Come here. Ah, all right. Say hi to everyone. Okay. Okay. You can say hi to everybody. Ah, my hair is so long. I need a haircut. And it's summer, so I guess I do need a haircut. Okay. Leaving in 2 days, have to work and meet my quota before taking my vacation to Festa. Oh my god, I'm so jealous, Eva. Okay. HT, Leia, Rose, Eva, please take lots of pictures. Send it to us. Darren, Joe from Cali with love, Z, Rhea, Orchid, Elaine is on X. Hi, Elaine, Amari, MJD, Halina, Nil Vanille, Joe, MLB, Michelle, Jane, Consuelo, are you okay, baby? Bora Winkle, Crystal, Becca, Rachel, Eva, Lily, Angel Star, Juveline, Cindy, A. Brown. They're saying hi to you. They said, hi, Debak, Warren. Say hi to them, baby. They're saying hi to you. Say hi. You're so cute. I love you. Beatriz, Celeste is on there. Oh wait, I haven't gone online on Twitch. Okay, she's on Twitch. Oh yeah, let me go live on Instagram. Go live. Okay. Rose, right, Jane, MLB, Consuelo. They're saying hi to you. Um, Selmart, Rachel, did I say hi to you already? Lucy, Robin Carr. Robin said hello. You're gonna meet him. I'm bringing him to San Francisco. Andre, Lindsay, Bang Luna, Christy, Sam L, Carla Girl, Beth, Consuelo, Dal BB, Bellatrix, Lucy in the Sky, Rose, Future's gonna be okay. Of course, it's gonna be okay. Guji is also on Twitch. Beth, Amari, okay, Rebecca, HT, Bellatrix. Sometimes I forget if I've already said hi. Reese, Dodger Girl is also on Twitch. Katrina. Okay, Googie. Oh, Googie as in cookie. Okay, Googie, guitar, Googie. BTS Eden, Jen, Kez, Vicky, MJD, Christy, Warren. Okay, Googie. All right. Hello, everybody. Are you all excited? I'm so excited. We're less than, we're 2 weeks away because we have to wait for, of course, for Suga. But at least we're going to have the four in less than a week. And then 2 weeks, we're going to have Suga back. So, like the name Googie. Love from Oregon. Oh, I love Oregon. I've only been there once, but I really love nature. So I love the hiking spots, all those places. Hi, EG, Shelling. Okay. Debak's hair is growing back. It is growing back, yeah. So I took him to a new groomer last 2 weeks ago, I think. Was it 2 weeks ago, baby, when I took you to the new groomer? And just to get him a shower and all, while my mom and I watched Mission Impossible. And that groomer was so mad at me for shaving his head. He was like, "Don't do that again. You shouldn't be doing that." but it's going back. Okay. Hi, hi, hi. You're finding it hard to work. I am too. I'm also finding it hard to work. Um, have you seen the new Festa photos? Well, first, let's go to the schedule so that we all get reminded of what we have. So we have the timeline, and then we have the switch version of the photo. And then we have the photo classic version. And then we're going to have the behind tomorrow. So today is I guess today will, well, the switch, the classic version. We got the switch version, and then we have the classic version, and then we're going to have the behind. So I guess it's going to be on YouTube. So teaser on the 13th, on the, what is that, 7th, I guess. The teaser is on the 7th. Okay, so that's the schedule that we have so far, and these are the first photo of the Switch version. Did you like it? I found it so cute. I found it so cute that they switch. And of course, I'm hoping that the rest of the boys will actually do it when they come back, whenever they are ready. But I hope that they would switch around too. Fire Butterfly, it's okay. We just got started. Isoc are so fine with the latest photo drop. I know. So love this. Absolutely love this. I did not expect that that's what they meant when they said Switch version. So he did all the Jack in the Box, but with a different color. So that's him. I love this. But this one I love the most. This is my favorite set, these two sets. But this on more so the one on the left. I love it. I thought like Jin gave it a new flavor. He gave the Jack in the Box a new flavor, but it also, like, because I'm so visual and I'm very cinematic, it gave me like an idea on what he can actually do if he does a movie like this with this kind of a character, like the Joker character. You think he's gonna fit the Joker character if he does like a Batman and he's going to be the Joker, right? I just saw, like, because his face is so angelic, his face looks so kind. So if he does anything like sinister, it's going to be extra scary because you don't expect it from him. Okay, your favorite is the green set, this one. Oh my God, look at that. Okay. I couldn't get over it when I first saw it. But that this is my favorite. And then this one's cute too. Of course, it's Jin, so anything he does is cute. They look so fine. And I love this, of course. I love this. This is my favorite, the one in purple with the purple. I just love how he gave it a new interpretation. Like, as you would expect of them, right? They are using somebody else's concept, but they still manage to give it their own interpretation. Do you like the Mission Impossible movie? It was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, the commitment of that guy to not do CGI, I just have to give that to him. And he's really trying his best to, like, reignite cinema. So I respect that, because they deserve it. Filmmakers deserve their movies to be shown on the big screen, and we should be watching it. So yeah, I do love it. Announcement 2025 BTS Festa Capsule Album Volume 1 will be available on site purchase from Friday, June 13 to January 14 at the venue of 2025 Festa held at Kintex 2 Ilsan. Ooh, did oh, of course I'm not coming, so I hope I can ask, maybe if someone's coming in Patreon, I can ask them to buy me one. Ooh, Capsule Album Volume 1. Wow. Okay, J-Hope. Isok are so fine. I know some of you are pronouncing it as Tusok. It's Isok. Ili Samsa. So Ili 2. Okay, so let's click on the announcement. Oh, I guess. Okay. We will show the announcement in a bit. Okay, maybe we can show it now. Some actually pronounce it tusok and then some sok sok. But it's actually it's isok, ili samsa. Okay. Announcement. Here is the announcement. We will show it now. I can't go. Even if I want to, I just can't. Okay, let's see here. Here's the announcement. So 2025. Oh wait, are you seeing it? Okay, yeah, you're seeing it. 2025 Big Hit. Okay, 2025 BTS Festa Capsule Album Volume 1 will be available for on-site purchase from Friday, January 13 to 2025 to Saturday, January 14, 2025 at the venue 2025 BTS Festa held at Kintex 2 Yilsan. Capsule Album Volume 1 will be available for purchase at the Capsule Album Zone in limited quantity. Oh my God. It's on site and it's limited quantity. Okay. Capsule Album available for on site purchase. So this is how it looks like. I want to have it. Period. Purchase of your all albums sold at the Capsule Album Zone will be reflected in the Hanto chart and Circle chart. I want all of it. I don't care. I want all of it. Okay. I want all of that too. All of that. I want that. Smart music. I want all of that. Okay. Special gift on site customers buy. Okay. So if you buy 2025 volume 1, you get one photo card, random 1 out of 7 versions featuring each member per purchased album. Buy 7 copies of 2025 capsule, and you get one set of 7 photo cards, one set of 7 group photo postcards. You can purchase up to 7 per payment, and the special gifts will be provided based on the sum of one order. Okay, the special gifts are only available for customers who made their purchase at the Capsule Album Zone. This is so unfair. It's unfair because I'm not going. Okay, so for all of you that will be going there, congratulations. You can buy the capsule album. Here's to hoping that they make it available online because I do want to get it. But if there's anybody in Patreon that can buy for me, I'll just post and I'll ask whoever is going that can buy for me. You wish you could get one. If I just said I wish I could get one. That is what is sad. Those of us who can't go to Festa miss out on these things. I know, right? It's not like, and it's not even if like I can, like if I have like enough, I do have enough vacation. I don't usually take vacation. I still can't go primarily because of the heat. My body can take the heat, so it's so unfair. But oh well. Congratulations to those that are going. Okay, so what else is there? That's it. Oh, here, there's some more. All right, here. When using the capsule machine, consecutively remove the capsule from the machine before inserting another coin. Failing to take out the capsule may cause the machine to malfunction. Make sure to check the amount of coins you received when purchasing coins. Make sure to check the amount of the capsule albums before exiting the capsule album zone. For smooth operation, please open the purchased capsule album outside the capsule album zone. Cash payments are not accepted when purchasing the coins. Only credit card or debit card, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay will be accepted. Please note that the shopping bags will not be provided or sold at the venue. The event is subject to change and cancellation without prior notice, depending on the on site circumstance. Okay. Congratulations to everybody that's going. But okay, I want those. I hope that they make it available for everybody. Maybe they will take pity on us and include us after Fiesta, after Festa. I think they're going to make this available on, I mean, maybe online or something. Maybe not as many photo cards or something like that, but I think they will make it available. Okay, I'm going to see if my friends in Korea are going to see if they can get the 7. Yeah. Okay. Back to the pictures. Are you okay, baby? You want to go down? Okay, back to the pictures. Let's go. Exciting. I know, exciting, Robin. I love this. Okay, next picture. And then we have the super dapper duo of BTS. My God, I know I do that was this they just look so good. They look so good in every picture. I mean, this time they always get it right, but this is just extra. Maybe because like um we've missed them so much. So to see all of this content is just hi Cutie Patootie, how's his OnlyFans coming? It's already online. It's already live. I think I've missed 1 week of content. I will upload again. And there was somebody who donated like $20 or something because the caption explains that he's trying to build a sanctuary for for elderly dogs, and so someone donated like $20 and said like good luck or something. Okay, see that, J-Hope? Do you see J-Hope? Look at that, baby. Look at that. Isn't that, they're so good looking? But of course, I love their photo duo, the picture together, which they recreated. Oh, this is 613, which is the birthday of BTS. At Fair Lane Hope on the stage made the top 10 movie list for May 30 to June 1 per box office. Yeah, it was number 10. Yes, congratulations. So it's not that I doubted. Of course, I knew it was going to happen. But yeah, so I knew that. I mean, I knew that even before it actually happened. I knew that it was going to make it to the top 10. Okay. So this is 613, and I love that both of them got to be on in front. So this is Jin first in front, and then this is J-Hope. So that is 613, which is the birthday of BTS. I love the thinking behind it. I love that they were able to execute. Um, and of course, look at that, diba? Look at that. Look at them. They look so good. Don't you think they look so good? Hmm? Don't you think so? Which one's your favorite? 613 is their birthday. BTS's birthday. Love the picture of them together. I love it. I love this picture on the right. My favorite picture of them together is the one on the right. But I love that. I think you one particular thing I love this is that about this is that you can actually use it as phone a phone what do you call that, the wallpaper on your phone. I don't know if they had this in mind, but almost all of the photos are actually vertical. So Bang Luna said K drama leading man. The heirs or something like that. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that. Of course, it was a recreation of an old photo. So this is like 2016, 2015 photo, and then they recreated it, but more mature, more dapper. Don't you love it? Okay. So this is a recreation of the old photo that they have, and so is this one. Debak is Army, yeah. His favorite. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Who's your bias? Hmm? You have a bias in BTS? Yeah, and this is a recreation of this photo. And I also love the effort that they're giving. They're like making this happen, even if it's just the two of them. I think it's just a testament to how hard that they're working, their commitment to armies and their commitment to BTS. Like they can actually like not do this and just have big hit, pull out some old materials, but they opted to do this even if it's just the two of them. So I'm more than anything, I'm touched that they are really making an effort to try and make this happen. So I appreciate that a lot of them, especially because both of them are so busy. Both are, one is just coming out of a tour, but he still, well, J-Hope, I'm talking about J-Hope, he still has an encore in South Korea, and then Jin is about to start his tour. And then of course, as we know, he has a lot of brand endorsements, but they still made time to actually make this photo shoot happen. And you know, as we know, because they are who they are, they had creative input in this one. So I love that they made it happen for us. So I appreciate that a lot. I'm so touched. So we are so spoiled. We are so spoiled for them to do this. Do you want to go down? Want to go down, baby? Say bye bye. You can come back later. And then you invite them to see you in the Bay Area. Tell them, please see me in the Bay Area. Tell them, please see me in the Bay Area. I'm going to be there. Please see me there. Hi, everybody. Please see me in the Bay Area. Right? You want to play fetch with them? Say, please play fetch with me. Bye bye. Love you. Okay. Okay. He's a very precious pop. What? You don't want to go down? Okay. Why do you keep on coming back? Oh, okay. Okay. They age gracefully. They age gracefully. I mean, they're aging backwards. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's what's happening. They're aging backwards. Okay. He is very sweet. So he is very excited with the upcoming trip. Okay. Next were we? Okay. The dog is okay. Thank you, Diongin. I start to feel Debak is starting to feel the fame bug. He is too famous for us. He is. He has an ego. So I love that they recreated it. I'm very, very grateful that and touched that they actually made the time out of their busy schedule to make it happen. Hi, Han. Both of them found the fountain of youth. I think the seven of them found the fountain of youth. Someone actually resent me this photo. I have this. I just, because I have so many pictures of them, I've forgotten about this, but I absolutely love this picture because everyone's just looking at Jin doing something goofy. I love it. Um, okay. And then just wanted to remind everybody that this is the very first festa. This is their very first anniversary where they all had lunch, which was prepared by Jin. As we know by now, he was the one cooking. He was the one who cooked for everybody. And everyone just sort of cleaned up, helped out, and whatever. Also wanted to remind everybody that the china that they have, all this bowls that they have on the table, in the very last dorm that they shared in one hanam, it's still there. They kept it because this was a gift from a fan. So when the fan who gifted it to them saw it in their new home, in the last home that they had as a group, their last apartment, she was so happy. She said that that's the one that I gave them, and they still have it. She's so happy that they still have it. They kept it, and I guess small things like that. It just goes to show that it's such a small gesture, right? Like it's nothing special. And I'm sure that even if they didn't have it, the fan wouldn't mind because they've transferred so many times already. But they made it a point to bring it with them, and small gestures like that kind of gives you an idea on just how they demonstrate the gratitude that they feel towards towards armies. And that song, The Boy with Love, actually makes more sense now, seeing those small things that they do. Yeah, so all of those are still here. I absolutely love, like, if when I was first watching it in the first during their first anniversary, I felt like, my God, this is so small. Like the apartment is so small for seven boys. Like maybe for me, if I'm alone, this is enough. But for seven boys, and then they have their manager, it was just so small. And then seeing how they transition from here to one Hanam is just absolutely admirable. It's a miracle that they actually made it that far. Do you think we will get a Festa dinner live this year? Curious, since Hobie has the concert on that day, and of course Suga isn't out yet on the 13th. I do well because they are going because he has a concert. I think that's sort of what is going to replace the festa dinner that we usually get. And then the other reason I don't think they're going to do the usual festa dinner that they have is because of Suga. I think they're gonna wait for him to get discharged, which is on the 21st. So I think maybe they're going to do it later. Maybe for the birthday of armies. Maybe they'll do it then or maybe after, right? We don't know, but I think for sure, I think J Hope and the rest of the boys plan that the encore concert happens on their birthday on the 13th because that will take the place of a dinner. I mean, why would you have a dinner without one member? We all know that BTS is seven, so I think they're gonna wait for Suga. And I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay to wait. For the seven of them, I'll wait. And this is the list of sponsors. This came from Jin. Stew pot sponsored by mom. Spoon scoop sponsored by mom. Plate sponsored by mom. Spoon sponsored by mom. Salt sponsored by mom. Honey sponsored by mom. I'm here to rub everything after all. Mom, I'm sorry, I love you. It was so cute. And then of course we know that by now, at least now, he doesn't need to steal anything from his mom. He's the one giving his mom gifts. So I absolutely love it. Okay. So to everybody who's going to Festa, congratulations. I hope that you enjoy yourselves. I guess by the time, so my next live stream will be Monday. I don't think I was planning to do a regular live stream just for my Patreon subscribers. And I've mentioned this before. I want to have a separate live stream just where when I will be talking about my personal projects, the script that I'm writing, sorry, the book that I'm writing and other things, and then also feature other Asian artists. I mean, every now and then I will still be talking about BTS. Probably I will be talking about BTS. It's just that I won't be doing it. It won't be exclusively about BTS and K-pop. But I don't think I can do it this Friday because the next day I'm gonna sleep very early because we're driving early. We're going to start driving early because my mom wants to do Highway 1. So we're going to stop over several cities. So for us to actually make it in a decent time in the Bay Area, I need to start early. So my next live stream will probably be Monday, and I will be in the Bay Area then. And I think that will be the day when they get discharged. So so maybe I will go online to watch it with you guys, maybe. So let's see. Shelly, good night. Okay, so that is it. Now, there are some things that you wanted me to research on, which I will be like several records of BTS, and we will be talking about that. Let's just do some updates on some of their charts before we proceed. So, currently the longest charting song by a Korean act. This is the current ranking. Okay, this is the current ranking. Bang Luna said, fairly, you need to clone yourself too much to do. I know, right? I need to. The technology can come soon enough. So still the number one is Jimin. He is at the number one position at 33 weeks. Now, number two, 32 weeks is Dynamite and Apathy by Bruno Mars and Rose. She's at number 20 something, definitely above 25. So she's probably going to, not probably, but for sure, she's going to be tying Jimin at number one. Good night, Phaedra. And then she's probably going to take the record the week after that. So just want to remind everybody to be gracious. The one thing that they can never erase is the fact that Dynamite and Who have a huge impact in the global music scene and of course in Korea. And also, she uh, c- it's a clean it's a clean record that she's going to be establishing. Okay, so 30 number 3 is Gangnam Style by Psy at 31 weeks. And then 25 weeks Cupid by 50/50. Um and then 20 Butter also by BTS, and then Baby Shark by Ping Fong. And then One of the Girls by The Weeknd, Lily Rose Depp, and Jenny. Okay, so those are the top five. And this is 6 to 10. We have 19 Weeks, Standing Next to You by Jungkook. 17 Weeks, My Universe by BTS. Left and Right by Jungkook is tied at number 7. And then number 8, 15 Weeks, tied 7 by Jungkook featuring Laro. And then I'm a Gentleman by Psy. And then number 9, we have Mic Drop. So if um yes, okay. So number 9 is 10 weeks with Mic Drop, and then number 10, 9 weeks 3D by Jungkook and Jack Harlow. And then I just included number 11 because sometimes things go up and down. But at 11 is 8 weeks Boy with Love by BTS featuring Halsey. Okay. Now, I had no idea Baby Shark was a Korean artist. And then I isolated the solo songs, meaning no Western collab or no collab in general. If we do that, the chart is going to look very, very different. The top 10 is going to look different. So, number 1 is Jimin with Who at 33 weeks. And that's probably going to stay there for a while because we don't have any song within the horizon that is not a collaboration. So, so he's probably going to stay there for at least another 6 months, I would say. I just don't see any song that has that longevity as of the moment. I mean, I'm sure that BTS is going to release one, but until then, he's going to keep that record for a while. Okay. And then number 2, Dynamite also does not have a collaborator, local, Western, Eastern, whatever. So they will stay at number 32. Sorry, at number 2 with 32 weeks. And then, of course, Gangnam Style, Psy with 31 weeks. Same, no collaborator. And I don't see anybody in the horizon. So they're probably going to keep that record. And then number 4, 25 weeks, Cupid by 50/50. And then Butter, number 5, 20 weeks. And also Baby Shark. Okay. Now, if we go 6 to 10, you're going to be surprised. Number 6 is 10 weeks Mic Drop by BTS. Also no collaborator. And then number 7, 8 weeks Super Shy by NewJeans. Number 8, 7 weeks Permission to Dance by BTS. And then at 9, 6 weeks, we have a three-way tie. Fake Love by BTS, Pink Venom by Blackpink, and OMG by NewJeans. And then number 10, we have 5 weeks Like Crazy by Jimin, and then Ditto with NewJeans. So a lot of like a displacement when we only consider no Western collaborator. But more than anything, I think what's the one thing that we need to remember is that because the top 3, probably the top 5, is going to stay there for quite some time because there is no other song within the horizon that has that longevity. So, you know, what can we say? They can do it without any collaborators. So, very, very proud of that. But if anybody, the one thing that I also want to remind everybody is the fact that records are meant to be broken. And there is, while charts and records and sales, those are important, the more important thing to always remember and always hype is their impact, the thing that they have done in change in the global music industry and what they have contributed for Asians and also for Koreans. So this is fun to look at, but at the end of the day, let's always concentrate on their impact, the quality of their music, the quality of their songs. And I have done a lot of videos about that, and will continue to do videos on that. So always hype that more than the charts. These are just fun to look at, but it isn't everything. Um, Also, I just wanted to do this because I want to veer away from the toxicity that's happening on X, Facebook, Instagram. I just want to concentrate on what's fun because they're about to return. I want us all to celebrate and just smile and be proud of all the things that they have done. Many of these things they have established years ago, even before the pandemic. Some of it they established when they are not even active, and they still manage to do all of this. It's something to be proud of. Okay. Um, I love the Who remixes as well. Beautiful Mind and Shibuya remixes. What would count as well? Would that count as well for Billboard Hot 100? I don't think they merged everything. I don't think they merged everything for the remixes. They merged some, but I don't think they merged everything. It's impressive also because Billboard Hot 100 is US only chart. Well done. Correct. US only chart. And as I've said, in the next several weeks, I will start compiling UK charts as well. European charts. I'd love to see Hot 100 without radio spins. I will do that for the next live. I'll do that. Actually, somebody posted an analysis on, maybe I can pull it up. Um, Okay. So someone posted an analysis on the Hot 100 songs of a K-pop act, not K-pop, but Korean act on its 32nd week. And it was just very obvious that for Jimin on his 32nd week, there was zero radio spin. So had he, if he had like a quarter of the radio spins, he would still be in the top in Billboard Hot 100 right now. So that gives you an idea on how much it actually affects the rankings. But still, as I've said, it's he is going to stay there. He's going to hold that throne for a while. Is he's gonna camp in that spot for a while. Okay. Um, see what other question. BTS's records tend to be broken by BTS. So glad that I keep away from social media. No toxicity. It is very toxic in X right now, in Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. There's just a lot of people hating on each other, and a lot of, at least they are claiming to be armies engaging with haters, and it doesn't help. As I've mentioned before, the best way to counter this is to actually not give them any attention. So for this episode, I intended it to be very light because I want to put us all in that mood for celebration. So just something light. I actually wanted to do an analysis of a song because someone requested it, but I was like, no, I just want to keep it light because I just want us to celebrate. I want us to remember all the good things. And as I've said, this is the most concrete way of actually celebrating, right? Although it isn't the most important, it's the most concrete, and it's so easy to celebrate this because, as I've said, it's concrete. Okay. Standing Next to You was written, recorded, and produced by. Imagine if they were actively promoting songs like who? Oh my God, if they're actively promoting. And if only they will allow the engagement of traditional promotional tactics. It's just that because they don't allow that, BTS doesn't like doing all of those things. So only group where members are receiving awards while in the military. Only group where members are actually giving their fans something while they are in the military. Ate, Standing Next to You by JK, 19 Weeks, No Collab. I think they added some of the remixes, not all of them. So the collab happened weeks after it was released. And then so some of it I think were counted, but it was much later, much later. Okay, so that's the answer to your question. Um, US charts have outsized psychological impact. Before we go back to that, US charts have outsized psychological impact on the rest of the world somehow, though nowadays Apple and Spotify and other digital charts are gaining traction too. The world went on a standstill during their absence, and now they're truly coming back. It feels like the world is alive again thanks to our boys. How about Standing Next to You? It's not collab. Uh, yeah, it's there. Where is it? Oh, because of the collaborations with the remixes. Yeah. Because of the remixes. Okay. Um okay. I can include it if you want to consider that, even if, I mean, that's fine for me. So he will be at 19 weeks. If I include him, he will be number 6. Okay, I can include that. Okay, Golden Album was mostly written and produced by the West. Yeah, I mean, Permission to Dance, Butter, Dynamite, Who were all written produced by Western artists. Well, Butter, Namjoon co-wrote it, but the others were also written produced by Western artists. Um, I'm so glad I left X. I can't wait when they start touring. I think it's a reflection of real life right now. What songs were you going to analyze? Well, 0 o'clock. Someone requested I do 0 o'clock because it's the theme of Festa. And I was like, okay, but then I realized, I don't know. I just want things to be light because I want us to celebrate. I don't want us to get agitated, things that I don't want that. So I said, no, I'm just going to prepare like charts because some of you sent me some questions, some charts to clarify. So I prepared all of that and we're going through that one by one. I don't see it and don't search for the hate. Correct. Don't do that. Just wondering about Jungkook's number 19. Did you not include him the new top 10 because he also did a collab with Usher? Wasn't his solo portion the one to hit Billboard Hot 100? Um, I can include him. I've already explained it because the last half of the Billboard Hot 100 was when his reign in Billboard Hot 100 was when he released the collaborations. But I can include him. I have no problems including him if we want to do that. I can do that. Okay. My birthday is tomorrow. This is the best birthday month. Okay, let's all celebrate. This month is super cool. It is super cool. What about Seven by JK? Not with Lato. The one that ranked in Billboard Hot 100 is with Lato. So, okay. 0 o'clock is one of my favorite. I know I was going to do it, but as I've said, I wanted to make everything a little lighter today. That's why I decided to do this and not do all of that, not do all of those analysis. Okay. Now, I posted this on X. J-Hope is the first Asian native soloist to sell out stadiums in 2 different continents. And several people asked me, like, what will it take for you to remove the word native? Because they were like, can he just be the first Asian? And I've explained this several times already, and this is just the real truth. It's not my right to take away somebody's Asianness. You know? If someone says they are Asian and they are legitimately Asian, even if they were born and raised in another country, then they are Asian. The same way I can tell um, Beyonce, for example, sorry, you're not African, you're just American. What do you think she'll do to me if I say that, right? So, like, there are a lot of acts, a lot of performers that are very much influenced by their parents, by their blood, and so I have to honor that. I have to respect that. Now, okay, now. I mean, even they themselves can't remove it. Like, they can say that I'm not Asian. It will not make them not Asian. They're just going to deny their heritage, but it's not going to change the fact that they are Asian. So, that being said, so what is it going to take for me to remove, or that what is it going to take for that word to be removed, right? What is it going to take for us to remove that? All right, then that's going to be the guy, the Asian that actually did it first. He had a stadium show solo. He had lined a concert, and he sold out stadiums in 2 different continents with Bruno Mars, and he is from the Philippines. Okay, and he did it in Europe and then in North America. So in Europe, he did 1, 2, 3 different venues, stadiums, and then one stadium in the U.S., which is in Hawaii, where he was raised. He was born and raised. Well, sorry, I think he was born in the Philippines and raised in Hawaii. So he's the one who actually did it. Okay, so he's the first one. Now, this are and then he did it again on his 2024 tour. He did Seoul Olympic Stadium, and then he did Brazil, and Sydney. So those, all of those are actually stadiums. So he was the first to do it. Other than him, it's J-Hope. So if we want to remove the word native, I will have to say J-Hope is only the second Asian act to sell out a stadium in two different continents in one tour. BMO for North America for 2 nights and Kyocera Dome for Asia for 2 nights. That would be clean. He's the only Asian act to sell out a stadium. Solo Asian act to sell out a stadium in two different continents in one tour. Clean. For the longest time, I thought Bruno was black. His father is African American, and then his mother is Filipino. I think he's mixed. He's half. Yeah, he's half. But could be the other way around. But one is African American, and then one is Filipino. And he owns up to it. In all fairness to the guy, he's like he's Filipino. So Puerto Rican. There you go, Puerto Rican and Filipino. Okay. So that is it. If we want to remove the word native, he would be only the second solo act to sell out a stadium in two different continents in one tour. Only the second solo Asian act to sell out a stadium in two different continents. That would be clean. That would be his record. And still an impressive record. I mean, after all of these years, he's only the second solo act. Come on, right? Second solo Asian act. Come on. And I think if he did a third one in Europe, he would have taken another record. And so maybe it's not too late. Maybe he's going to do another tour. Maybe after another album, he'll do another tour and he'll decide to do a stadium in another continent. Then he'll get another record. Or maybe one of the other boys will do it first. Doesn't matter. Eventually, all of them will actually do it. Okay. If the venue in Mexico wasn't small, he would sold another stadium easily. Who? Is Kyocera Dome the same dome that Old Short supposedly sold out? I think so. Yes, I think so. Okay, so are we clear on that? But so you guys wanted me to go through the records that they've established. That is a clean record, no qualifier of being a native Asian or whatever. So you said, can you pull out? Some of you asked me to pull out some records that is just a clean record for them without the qualifier of a native Asian. Okay. So yes, so they have a lot of records that they have established all by themselves without the help of any Western acts, and certainly without the qualifier of an Asian act. One of which is that they are actually the first act in history. All right, so this is the first act in history to replace themselves atop the Hot 100 for 2 weeks in a row. Okay, so they are the very first act in history to replace themselves 2 weeks in a row on the top of Billboard Hot 100. So they did it twice consecutive weeks. Yes, after them, Taylor Swift did it November. So they did it 2021, and then Taylor Swift did it November 11, 2023. Is It Over Now debuted at number one, replacing Cruel Summer. And then the next week, Cruel Summer went back to number one, taking over Is It Over Now. But this is 2 years after BTS actually did it. So BTS is the first act in history to do it. How normal is it for a K-pop group to be all from Korea? Oh, like 100% Korean. It's very normal. It's just recently where they are starting to mix other idols from different countries, I guess, to appeal to different countries as well. Okay, so first, that is one clean record, first act in history, regardless of where they are from. They're just the first. Period. And right now, no one has done it after Taylor Swift, although there have been other acts who's actually replaced themselves at number one, but only once. But only once. The ones that replaced themselves in Hot 100 2 consecutive weeks would only be BTS and Taylor Swift. But there have been other acts like the Beatles, Drake, and Justin Bieber who replaced themselves at number one. But BTS and Taylor Swift did it 2 consecutive times. Okay, so I mean, that's an impressive impressive lineup. That's extremely rare. Super rare for anybody to replace themselves at number 1, and even rarer for them to replace themselves at number 1 for 2 consecutive weeks. And look at the company of the boys, the Beatles, Drake, and Justin Bieber. So I hope that this is why it's frustrating for me whenever I hear armies comparing BTS to acts that are not this caliber, because I feel like, come on, this is the caliber of BTS. If you're going to compare BTS to anybody, compare it to this acts. Like, this is their level. Okay. um I'm not sure. The Fire Butterfly, I'm not sure if he was born in the Philippines, but definitely raised in Hawaii. Could be born in the Philippines. Could be. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. So another record that they have established, they are the very first act in history to launch a non-English song to the top of Billboard Hot 100. Historic. The first act in history to debut a non-English song on top of Billboard Hot 100. There have been other acts who managed to push their song, a non-English song, on top of Billboard Hot 100, but they are the first to do it. The first to debut a song on top of Billboard Hot 100. So Bruno says, Google, why are we still you guys are stuck in Bruno Mars? Do you want to talk about Bruno Mars? Let's talk about Bruno Mars after. Okay, so Google says Bruno Mars was born in Hawaii. Probably. Okay, so I get he's half Filipino and Puerto Rican or whatever. Okay, so we're now moving on to BTS. Okay, so BTS is the first act in history to launch a for non-English song on top of Billboard Hot 100. Okay, so that is also a clean record, no qualifier, first act in history. Okay. Next, Jimin, on the other hand, is the first solo act. Okay, first solo act, and so far the only solo act in history to debut a non-English song on top of Billboard Hot 100. So that's two from BTS, one as a group and one Jimin as a solo artist. So imagine the caliber of these boys. Okay, so BTS, the first act in history, Jimin, the first solo act in history to debut a non-English song on top of Billboard Hot 100. And so far, no one has done it after them. I think there have been an act who managed to put their song on top of Billboard Hot 100, non-English, but not debut. That is the caliber. People are so curious about what Bruno is. His hybrid. I don't know. I know he's half Filipino. That's all I know. Okay. All right. And he's very proud of it. He has owned up to it. He's been in the Philippines. He's like, and he knows, he even calls his family by our Filipino names, like the names that we give our mothers and fathers and grandmothers and whatever. Okay. Also, BTS is the first ever Asian act to sell out Wembley for 2 nights. Okay, so again, that is another record that is clean. They are the first Asian act to ever sell out Wembley for 2 nights. First, and they're gonna do it again. um, okay, so that is also a clean record, first Asian act, no qualifier. All right. Also, BTS is the first act to ever debut a song to be on top simultaneously on top of Billboard Hot 100, Global 200, and Global Exclusive US charts simultaneously. So, another clean record, no qualifier, first act in history. Okay, so we have a lot now, right? We have the first act to simultaneously be on top of Billboard Hot 100, Global 200, Global Exclusive US charts. First Asian act to sell out Wembley 2 nights, and they're going to do it again. Jimin is the first solo act to debut a non-English song on top of Billboard Hot 100. BTS is the first act to ever debut a song on top of Billboard Hot 100. It's not that is non-English, and they are the first act to ever replace themselves atop the Hot 100 2 weeks in a row. Very, very clean. Okay. Another record that they have established has something to do with Michael Jackson. They are the fastest accumulation of 5 number 1 hits on Billboard Hot 100 since Michael Jackson. Imagine the level of this acts that they are being named side by side. Drake, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, the Beatles, Michael Jackson. Can we all please regard them with the same respect? When we are comparing them, let's choose who we're going to compare them to. So BTS achieved 5 number 1 hits on Billboard Hot 100 within a span of 10 months with and 2 weeks, the fastest since Michael Jackson in 1987 to 1988. Okay. I know I can be hard when a parent's birthday comes around. My mom's broken. BP wants to take over BTS by performing there. Not sure how YG is so confident, especially if they are going to have no new songs. Michael is considered a god in the music industry. I mean, these ones that have been compared to BTS are considered gods. So in the music industry, small g. Okay, BTS became the first group since the Beatles in 1995 to 1996 to earn 3 Billboard 200 number 1 albums in under 12 months. However, the Beatles did it Anthology 1, Anthology 2, and Anthology 3. BTS did it with original studio albums, which is even more impressive. So let's just consider that. Yes, they tied the Beatles' records for earning 3 Billboard 200 number 1 albums in under 12 months. But they did it with a studio album. Beatles did it with Anthology 1, 2, and 3. Impressive, but I'm just saying, you have to consider that as well, right? Okay, BTS also became the first group since the Beatles in 1964 to have 4 number 1 songs on Billboard Hot 100 in a single calendar year. That is BTS. Okay, so whenever people are asking and trying to compare them to this act, that act, remember, these are the names that are side by side BTS. Drake, the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber. This is where we should be when we are talking about the BTS. If Michael Jackson is alive, I'm sure he'd collaborate with BTS. I am pretty sure. Taylor Swift would not be nothing if it wasn't for Payola. She has a lot of fans. I mean, look at that tour. Look at that tour. If you and Jimmy Fallon didn't update us, I wouldn't know they rank on the charts. All I can say is that I'm very happy that no dark forces, no matter how hard they attempted, ever succeeded in ruining BTS and HYBE. They won't stop. They still are trying. BTS are Beatles, Michael Jackson level. Let's not compare with not so huge acts. There was somebody who was oh, it feels like whenever you compare BTS to somebody else, it feels like no, like I don't want to insult other singers, so but it feels like you're comparing them. It's like you're comparing a lion to a worm or something like that. It's like, oh, a lion is going to be scared of a worm or something like that, which come on, you have to give some respect to the name of BTS. It doesn't matter what other groups do. BTS was the first to do it and pave the way so other artists can come after them. Okay. Taylor Swift did it herself. Taylor is, I'm as I've said, Taylor, look at that tour. It's like people, I just look at that reception. You can't fake those people that bought her ticket. So I am by no means questioning her dominance, because it's just, for me, it's clean. It's like she was able to she kind of utilized the same strategies that BTS was using, and she managed to like really appeal to a specific audience that remained very, very true and dedicated to herself. So I don't question her success, and I don't question that she really is on top right now. And good for her. Good for her. I mean, you know, uh, she worked for this. So that's an insult to a real warm. Plus, BTS worked from the bottom up, and that perfection is a top caliber. Respect BTS and not compare some band without their caliber. Agree. No K-pop act can compare now, nor in their time, nor before. Correct. Correct. I agree. So I think that is the end of my record presentation. I hope that pumped you up. I hope that put you in the right mood, because they are coming back real soon. So I just want us to be very positive. Okay, let me check. So today is supposedly, I think today is the second hearing of New Jeans. So let me check something. Um, someone's sending me a private message. Uh, okay. All right. Okay. Someone's sending me a private message just about some of the songs that are currently ranking right now. Um, let's see. Let me just check because today is the second hearing of New Jeans, I believe. Let me see. And it was supposed to be 11, which is the exact same time I started this live stream. Um, ah, so the second hearing ended very quickly. So I guess they finished even before I finished my presentation. uh, okay. I'll answer this question first. Fairlane, where can we look up the certified concert attendance numbers? People keep quoting max capacity of venue, and I know that can't be true. So the only one that there are only two sources that can actually certify a sold out, and it depends on the circumstance. One is Ticketmaster, if the tickets were sold by Ticketmaster, and then the other one is the venue itself. So because all other sources rely on the reporting of the management company. So for example, if I am the management company, this is just for example, if I am managing um, an artist, like whoever that artist may be, I'm managing the artist and I submit to touring data or Polestar that I sold out we sold out the venue, then um, then that they'll take my word for it. So which is ridiculous. So anybody can claim sold out and act not and but they're not sold out. So but the only time you'll know it's really sold out is when Ticketmaster says sorry, we're not going to sell it. There's no ticket for us to sell because everyone sold it. And that happened only twice in history. One is with BTS in the Permission to Dance semi-residency in SoFi and Allegiant. They announced that Ticketmaster announced that they cannot that the general sale will not happen because it was sold out. So okay, so it was sold out. And then the other one would be the venue itself. And now the venues have different ways of announcing it, but the most official is if they actually put it on Twitter, on Instagram, their social media, and sometimes they would put it on the venue itself. So for example, in JHOPE's case, when he did BMO, you can see on BMO, and also on Prudential, whatever his venue was for New York, um, the ven on the in the venue itself, it actually said it's said sold out. So then sold out. It's really sold out. Now here is the complication. There are venues that would declare sold out at 95% sold out. Even if they only sold 95%, they will still consider that sold out. So there are different ways. And then there are, of course, like tricks that management companies use, and we know this because YG allegedly used it with Blackpink. They declared it to be sold out, but in fact they gave away the tickets. So the surest way to do it is Ticketmaster announcing we're not going to sell any more tickets because everything has been sold. That's it. Then because like, oh, okay, there's nothing for you to sell. So that's where you get the announcement. The actual number, sometimes they release it much later. So, but sometimes they don't. So that is the, I hope that answered your question. I thought BMO says they oversold for JHOPE. Correct. Yeah. So that because the venue itself declared that it was sold out, so it's clean. You know that the venue they qualify. That's why in my post in X I made it clear that for Kyocera Dome and for BMO, both venues confirmed that they are sold out. So whenever there are acts that are saying, "Oh, they sold out," look, just check. Like, well, number one, there are still tickets that are available on Ticketmaster like an hour before the show. And then the other thing is the venue itself never announced it. Allegiant, and I remember, was it Allegiant, SoFi, and MetLife actually they actually tweeted that the twice sold out the venues. So no question asked. They sold out the venues according to the venue itself. So that's clean. So those are the only two sources you should trust when the venue itself announced it. But you do have to remember that sometimes that doesn't mean 100% sold out. It could mean 95%. And then the other is if Ticketmaster says, sorry, we're not going to sell any more tickets because they're just sold out. Okay. Um, I imagine investors don't like giving tickets away, of course. Of course. Also, they limit the sitting. Yes, that's another thing. Like I think I've showed you for Baby Monster, although maybe they'll open it later. The topmost part is actually closed off. So it can be sold out, but that's because you only sold lower box and ground. So, you know. Okay, so here let's look at the news. I'll share this. So NewJeans draws a line of agreement with Adore crossing the river of no return. All right. So the summary is that it finished faster than my presentation. And the held the second oral argument for the lawsuit filed by Adore against the members of NewJeans to confirm the validity of their exclusive contracts. NewJeans did not attend the oral argument. NewJeans legal representatives were present and argued that the termination of the exclusive contracts were unfair. Okay. So we are right here. That is unfair. The court asked NewJeans and Adore's legal representative, do both parties really not intend to reach an agreement? NewJeans stated the trust relationship has already been completely broken. We have crossed a river of no return. We need to discuss it with our clients, but it will not be easy, indicating that they have no intention of agreement. On the other hand, Adore stated if the court makes a conclusion, we believe an agreement will be reached easily after that, conveying their intention to reach an agreement in the future. Last November, NewJeans held an emergency press conference. This is just a review of what happened. The court accepted the injunction application and made the decision to grant all of them, and NewJeans, which was unable to carry out independent activities, declared a temporary suspension of activities after Hong Kong ComplexCon. Afterwards, the court accepted Adore's indirect compulsory fine against NewJeans. An indirect compulsory fine is a fine imposed if a court decision is not followed, and the court ruled that NewJeans must pay 1 billion won per person if it carries out independent activities without Adore. NewJeans, consisting of 5 members, must pay 5 billion won to Adore if it carries out in an independent activities. So, so I guess that it happened less than 2 minutes. Adore submitted a request for service by court officer when this type of request. So I guess they submitted some additional documents. Yeah, I guess they submitted some additional documents, but it was the trial itself is fairly short. It's less than 10 minutes, they said. So I guess it was just the court, the judge asking whether they have any intention of settling, and it seems that for for um for Adore they're willing, but Adore is not. I mean, NewJeans, they're not willing to actually settle. BNB NJZ does not exist. It's New Jeans. New Jeans fans think it was a win for them, so delusional. It seems like New Jeans are trying to save face now. Guys, go vote for Jimin and Jungkook soloist of the year. I think today is the last day. They both are close with Jimin versus Jennie and Jungkook versus IU. When Britney Spears played in Stockholm, they gave away free tickets in droves because it was too embarrassing. So we're still waiting on the third oral. It was not a trial, it was a hearing. Yes, we're still waiting. I really don't get old shorts at this point. Hasn't Mama Roach totally abandoned them? And whoever said that the wheels of justice run slow, well, apparently not for some. New Jeans will be going nowhere but down. I love BTS Army are usually kind enough to purchase extra tickets too. What does it mean reaching an agreement and settle for a contract? Yeah, it could be that or some sort of an agreement. Um, so my lawyer friends said that there is another terminology that they use for when the court compels an agreement, a settlement. Uh, they sort of they can force the circumstance to make a settlement inevitable, but they don't call it forcing an agreement. So in other words, the court cannot say to both New Jeans or Adore, you have to settle. The court can say they cannot say that. The court cannot say that. But there are other ways so that the court will design a specific way in order for the two to reach a settlement. Lily, maybe I have. I just haven't been to my phone. I'm just so busy. Sorry. Where do we vote? Someone is asking. Where do we vote? Someone's asking. Okay. Let's talk about the new SK president. Have you heard that they have a new president? Dor and HYBE can't compel or force to settle with New Jeans or anyone else by the court because settlement must be voluntary under the law. Is that so? Yes, please make a settlement inevitable. Yeah, it was funny how my lawyer friend was actually explaining it. Like, yeah, they can't force them. It's just that they can design some circumstances to make it inevitable. And like, yeah, that's forcing. Okay. Um, they have a new president, Lee Jae-myung. Lee Jae-myung is the name of this president, and he is from the Liberal Party, not from the Conservative Party in South Korea. He is the president-elect of South Korea. Now, let's go through it. Of course, our only concern is how that's going to affect, how his administration is going to affect Korean entertainment, and of course BTS, if at all. All right. So Lee Jae-myung is actually a human rights and labor lawyer. That's a good, that's a promising beginning, right? That's a promising start. So he is a human rights and a labor I guess he was a human rights and labor lawyer, and his work actually included representing victims of industrial accidents and residents facing eviction due to urban development projects. Okay, that's his background. Human rights and labor lawyer. All right, let's go to now. One of his famous cases is the Park View preferential sale case, and it exposed. This is a huge case in South Korea. It exposed corruption in awarding of building permits and preferential property sales to government officials in Bundang. Okay, Bundang is a province in South Korea. So he managed to expose how people are actually specific people are being favored to purchase several buildings or properties. Okay, so he fought that case, and he became very very famous for that. And then another case that he handled is the building of municipal hospitals early 2000s. So he led a movement advocating for the construction of municipal hospitals in Songnam, which is another province, South Korea, because there were two general hospitals that closed, private hospitals that closed. And so him knowing that the people will actually need some hospitals, he pushed for the construction of a new municipal hospital. And he was faced with opposition from the city council, which is from the Conservative Party, the Grand National Party. But he pushed and he protested, and that actually made that sort of started his political career, because he became really, really popular and people wanted him to lead. And so that's how he started his political career. That's a good public service positions, yes. But just like any other politician, you don't remain clean forever. He has a pending trial for election violation and has been indicted for corruption. So, this is the Korea. I'm sure has not really kept, except for one. I think they haven't really kept any of their presidents. They always get ousted or impeached. Unfortunately, some of them actually, they disappear. So just like Japan. And now, and he apparently is no exception. So he has a pending election law violation, and has been indicted for corruption. So he has a standing case. He's supposed to go for a retrial, and it's mixed. The reactions are mixed. Someone is saying that he should be immune to this, and some people are saying, nah, you shouldn't be immune for election trial. You can be immune for other things, not for election trials. But okay, so what did you do? What did he do? 2024, it was uncovered that he made false statements during his 2020 presidential campaign, and he got 1 year suspended sentence in 2024. So he got the suspended sentence in 2024. Okay. Now in 2025, the Seoul High Court acquitted him, beginning of 2025. But May of 2025, that's this year, just this May, the month that passed, the Supreme Court returned the decision of Seoul High Court and said, nah, you're going to have to do another trial. So that he has a pending case and he is supposed to go on trial. Now, people are debating, is he going to get an immunity for this? Because after all, who doesn't lie during a campaign? So that was very funny for me, because in my head it was like, this is where we are as a society. This is how low is our standard, that we are expecting our president to actually have lied sometime in the past. All right. And that's supposed to be okay. So he actually has so the opinions are actually mixed. Some people say that he should be immune, and some people are saying not in a case like this. Another one, though, because some people might say, well, lying, elections, campaign, and stuff like that. He was actually indicted on bribery charges. So apparently he received like $8 million. $8 million. So South Korean opposition leader this is when he wasn't a president yet, has been indicted on bribery charges connected to an alleged scheme involving transferring funds to North Korea. Prosecutors are accusing Yi of asking apparel makers Sangbangwol Group to illegally transfer 8 million to North Korea between 2019 and 2022. So this news was years ago. This was 2021, when he was serving as governor of Northwest Gyeonggi province. Yonhap news agency says the deputy governor Yi Wa-yong was sentenced last week to 9.5 years in prison in connection with the illegal money transfer scheme. Prosecutor Yi Wa-yong funneled the money to boost a commercial program in North Korea sponsored by Gyeonggi to facilitate a planned visit to Pyongyang by Yi Jae-myung. Okay. Politics is always dirty game, no matter which country, correct? Okay, so all right, so that is it. So he has two pending cases. In the second case, in this corruption case he is facing, his second in command was already sentenced to imprisonment. And so this was published like 2022, I think, or 2023. But the initial case, the case right now where he is being accused of election fraud, that just happened now in 2025. May 2025 is when they said you're going to have to go through a retrial. So now that being said, everything everything is when you go into politics, everything becomes dirty, everyone becomes dirty. There's really nothing that we can do about it. So maybe one of you should go into politics and prove to everyone can sustain the career without being dirty or something like that. Now the question is, has he said anything about or against or for BTS? Yes, he has. Back in 2022, he did say, he was asked about the mandatory military service, and he said that exempting BTS from the mandatory military service, and he said that mandatory military service is a public duty set by the constitution, and we must be prudent about granting exceptions. We can't deny BTS's contribution to the nation, but we must be careful because it will be hard to draw the line if we expand the scope of exceptions like this. In perspective of fairness, I think it is more desirable to allow military service deferment for BTS, and exemptions should be refrained from as much as possible. Lee Jae-myung. So he said this in 2022. That's what he said about the military exemption. Okay, so do I like what he said? No, I don't like what he said, because I think the first thing that everyone should have considered is whether or not BTS was asking for an exemption. They weren't asking for an exemption. They continued, their name to got dragged and dragged and dragged, and are still getting dragged for something that they never even wanted. From the very beginning, they were very, very clear that they were going to serve. They said it in different interviews. Suga put it in his freaking rap. No one was saying. They said they were going to serve. So I felt like the BTS getting mentioned in something like this was totally unnecessary, when they could have just said, why are we even discussing this when the boys themselves don't want an exemption? So that's one thing for me. The other thing is that this exemption thing is extremely outdated, I feel like, because there are a lot of people that may be exempted whose contribution to their economy and to their culture is actually way less than what BTS has actually contributed. So if at all, I was looking for somebody that could say, look, we can't change the law right now, but it is high time we actually review who's getting exempted or not. Because if you're not going to exempt somebody like BTS, there's a lot more below that line that's getting exemption. But no one freaking said that. Okay. All right. Now he is pushing for the construction of a 50,000 stadium, a stadium with the capacity of 50,000. Let's just make it clear that this has been in plan. This was already been the plan of the government since 2000. So 2000, they announced the construction of a K-Culture Valley, and they were supposed to be finished by 2024. So outside of the stadium, there will be hotels, theme parks, museums, other activity areas where people can actually go and enjoy K culture. For some reason, that hasn't materialized. Nothing has happened. Now, one good reason could be that, well, COVID happened. So, um, so that COVID happened, so probably that's one reason it didn't really materialize. But then the other thing is that, I guess something happened to the money, because they allotted money for this. In the beginning of 2024, there were talks about restarting the project, and they said that the target is going to be 2029. But so far, nothing has happened. So July 2024, Gyeonggi province terminated its agreement with CJ Live City, which is the contractor that will construct this entire thing. The project's main developer citing issues such as construction delays, cost overruns, and disputes over project terms. So there are cost overruns, which means they're actually utilizing the money that was allotted for the project. If there are overruns, they're actually moving, they're spending it. And disputes over project terms. At the time of termination, the project's progress was minimal, with only 3% completed over 8 years. So, not a very good sign. So they completed only 3% over of the entire project over 8 years. So despite determination, the provincial government expressed intention to revive the project through public development methods. Plans included launching a public offering to attract private developers with eased conditions to encourage participation. The goal was to resume construction May 2025. That hasn't happened, and complete the project by 2029. If it didn't start May 2025, most likely it will not happen in 2029. And BTS is going on tour on 2026 or sometime right around that time. So he mentioned this again, but let's just be clear that this is planned for a really long time. So whether or not he'll be able to push it, because God knows South Korea needs it right now, that remains to be seen. If he does, that's a good thing, because it's never a bad idea to create a space where other people, including foreigners, can actually come to and enjoy and experience your culture. So let's see what's going to happen. So yeah, that's, I don't know how that's going to affect BTS, but I do know that if he is, I guess one of the things that I am frustrated about is that I wish whoever was going to get elected had some background in business. So running a country is like running a business, right? You do need to earn. The government has to earn, and then you need to provide for everybody that is within the company. So I was hoping they were going to elect somebody that had some, some background in business. But he is a politician through and through, and that is never a good thing. Um, the only thing that I would be hoping for is that he himself recognizes the importance of entertainment, specifically BTS, but entertainment in general, arts, music, movies, in promoting the culture of a country, in strengthening the soft power, because that has a lot of interest, a lot of advantage, a lot of weight when they are negotiating legal economic terms with other country. So let's just hope it's going to be for the best. BTS is going to be really very busy, and the one thing that I know about BTS is that they've always been ready to serve their country. I think if they are called to serve for in whatever capacity, to be a brand ambassador of tourism or whatever, I think they'll do it. It is their country, they love it, and they should. And that is one thing that I admire about BTS. But I hope that they remain. I'm pretty sure they are going to remain apolitical, at least in their external, um, in their public life. They will be apolitical, just to make sure that they don't get dragged into anything that politicians get dragged into. What is crazy is that some of these politicians who were playing games with BTS military enlistment never served. That is true. Well, we know what's happening here in the US when people went with that narrative about businessmen running for president. HYBE did a video about him running successful businesses, not bankrupting the business. Um, Bankruptcy here in the US means totally different. It's totally different. Just because you got bankrupt doesn't mean that you're a business. It's just a different. The country is just, we are a financial country. That's how we make our money, through money. We make our money through money. Oh, you watch BTS will announce a tour in SK will be angry at the stadium is not done. Gotta go buy MLB. Please, everyone, remember to click like for this great informative video. Yeah, I have that. Wait, where is that? Please like the video. Here, please like the video. Do you have questions? Let's just keep it like in relation to entertainment and to BTS and to music and whatever, because the politics of it, I will not pretend to know everything about him. I research things about him that is related, things that are related to entertainment, because that's what the channel is all about. But like all other things, this case, his corruption case, all of these things, it was just mentioned. That's how I know, but I don't know the details of this. So let's just keep it within the entertainment realm, because that's what we are here for. We elected someone. Let's not get into the politics. We're just going to agitate ourselves. We're trying to stay positive, and we're trying to stay happy. So let's think about BTS. How's that? How this new stadium is going to affect BTS. The one thing I know is, I think even before all of this happened, meaning this new administration started taking shape, is that HYBE itself was planning to construct a village for their artists, so that the universes of this artist of the artists under them will have its own space, and we can experience those universes. So it's kind of like Disneyland. You go in, and in Disneyland there's like this kind of a space. This is for Mickey Mouse, and this is for Donald Duck, and this is for Cinderella, and whatever. So supposedly they were going to put together um, that together, but that, I don't know if it's just because it's not the right time or whatever, but I think that's one of the plans that they have, and I feel like that's really going to be good, because they can really integrate Korean culture if they do like a theme park, right? Emotional support picture, please. Um, this time next week is what we have been waiting for. Beautiful photos of socks. Beautiful photos of socks. Sock. Okay. Where is that? You don't want the other one that I already showed you. You want something else? Eternal Festa. Old pants refiled a new petition to the new government. We need to work. We need to work hard for the boys to win 2026 Grammys. Um, where's that? Oh, there's a okay, let me show it to you. There's a new article that was sent to me. Adore released a statement. Okay, let's see here. Let's share this tab. That photo of Hobie is your favorite. Okay. All right. So Adore side, give me 1 second. I need to change something. Okay. So they released a statement just now, and they said NewJeans keeps changing the reason for contract termination. Five people's claims are unfair. Okay. This is translated by AI on the site. So let's try to decode it together. NewJeans agency Adore stated that the reason for terminating the members' exclusive contract was unfair. On the morning of the 5th, the 41st Civil Agreement Division of Seoul Central District Court held the second hearing for the lawsuit filed by Adore against NewJeans to confirm the validity of their exclusive contract. In the first hearing held in April, the claims of both sides were sharply divided. At the time, Adore's side argued we did not oust former CEO Min Hee-jin, but she left of her own accord. Considering the defendants successfully prepared for Hong Kong concert without Min Hee-jin's help and finished it successfully, the claim that only Min Hee-jin could do it is so contradictory to the defendants' own words and actions. I don't know, quite honestly, if Min Hee-jin and NewJeans did not anticipate that this argument was coming. I thought they would have known that them performing in Complex Con would have clearly been was going to be clearly used in the as an argument in court. So it's because it was catch 22 for them. If they don't continue with the okay, let's finish the article first and then let's discuss. Okay. Um, However, Nugin said, with Adore, the basic trust relationship has been broken, so we cannot continue together. And if all the management is replaced, the past and present corporations may be the same in form, but in reality, they are completely different corporations. And that Adore without Hee-jin has completely different values than the past. So they cannot fulfill the contract with the current Adore. On this day, the two sides' argument did not narrow down easily. First, Adore claimed the reason for termination of the exclusive contract claimed by NewJeans keeps changing, which means they are forcibly terminating the exclusive contract and looking for a reason for termination after the fact. The individual reasons for termination claimed by the defendants are unfair. On the other hand, Nugent's claim that Adore breached the important management contract, and after citing examples of violations of the duty of protection, they claimed specific examples of HYBE executive control of management rights and the failure of the agency to properly fulfill the duty of protection and measures, and argued the termination of the exclusive contract is lawful. Regarding this, Adore said, "We will submit the details in writing by the next deadline." Okay. The court explained if the debtors, okay, so they just explained the violation, the fine. Okay, let's remember the argument had me at Adore's lawyer. Okay, I still think it is weird that defendants don't need to be in court during uh well, that's your, even we don't, I mean, even here in the US we don't have to be present during hearings. It's our right to be represented by experts. It's yeah, there are some defendants that never see the court. They're just represented by their lawyers. I think like in a criminal case, maybe you will be summoned by the prosecutor if you're the defendant, so that they can cross examine or something like that. I'm just worried that behind the scenes, these politicians had or are still expecting pressures against HYBE, Bang Shiyuk, to give in to MHJ and NewJeans as Kakao, or Kakao SM. Why does MHJ NewJeans keep on stalling? Um, One reason could be that are waiting for the end of the contract. That could be one reason. Um, so they're stalling until they reach the end of the contract. Maybe that. I'm guessing though, but that's just, yeah, that's my guess. Okay, let me correct something for you. Do you have questions before I continue this? We are actually how many minutes do we have? 1 second. Okay, I'm all done, so I can sorry. Okay. We have big arenas here and they can move their SK concert to the US. Joking. I think they're stalling because they have a connection to the new regime. Some people are sort of wondering whether or not they actually have um they actually have interest in the new um they have a connection to the new regime, and that's why they're doing their best to not have the agreement until everything is in place, because they feel like when the new administration comes in, they can get favors. Okay, so I corrected the longest charting song by a Korean act in Billboard Hot 100 without collaboration. So then we have, I hope I got it right. Wait, of course I'm not going to get it right. Wait. Give me 1 second. Ah, Are you guys still here? Do you still hear me? Um, do you still hear me? Because Google sort of acted up. So let me know if you're still here and I'm still, if you're still there and I'm still here. Uh, Google just sort of acted up on me. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I corrected the chart for the longest charting songs with no Western collaboration. Okay. One second. What label would work? I had to refresh about 15 minutes, but it's all good now. Okay, good. Still here? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's just wait. What label would want to work with NewJeans after all of this? I don't know. I still have one more presentation. It's a short one after this, but let's just, I want to get this thing. This is what's wrong with Google. Okay, let's go to the other presentation. I corrected the longest charting songs without in Billboard Hot 100 without Western collaboration so that it would put Jungkook in number 6. All right. Oh, I think it's here. Let's see. Okay. Starting to get hot. Jeff, I know he has a world tour and he doesn't have a US date yet. I'm hoping he has. I'm really, really hoping he has a US date. Um, he's one of my favorite Asian performers. Okay. I love this photo, by the way. A Bloom got a label and they are blacklisted. Okay. So here is the longest charting song longest charting songs by a Korean act with no Western collaboration. So we still have the same for 1 to 5. So that's Who by Jimin, Dynamite by BTS at number 2 with 32 weeks, Gangnam Style by Psy with 31 weeks, Cupid by 50/50 for 25 weeks at number 4, and then Butter by BTS and Baby Shark by Pink Fong, 20 weeks at number 5. And then finally, we have number 6, 19 weeks, Standing Next to You by Jungkook. And then 7, that would be 10 weeks, Mic Drop. 8 weeks for Super Shy of NewJeans. 7 weeks, Permission to Dance by BTS. And 6 weeks, number 10, it's a three-way tie, Fake Love, Pink Venom, and OMG. NewJeans, Blackpink, and BTS. So that would mean, that would give 1 to 7 for BTS and the members. So we have Fake Love, Permission to Dance, Mic Drop, Standing Next to You, Butter, Dynamite, and Who. Okay, we have that. All right. So this is just the okay, this is the just a if you want to, if you are within this area, Mexico, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Taipei, Singapore, Lima. I know that Sam L is from Singapore. Sao Paulo. If you are there, please catch him. He has a tour. He's one of my favorite Asian artists. And if he ever goes to the US, I am sure I am going to watch. This is just the hearing of NewJeans, which was today, which is done already, and we've discussed that. Okay, let's see. Who is Jeff? Jeff SATUR is a singer from Thailand. If you want to check him out, he usually sings in Thai and then translates it into English. So he would usually release the same song with an English version. And then it's the same storyline. I've recommended him several times on my X and also recommended him on Patreon, but check him out. So his name is Jeff SATUR. He's from Thailand. It doesn't hurt that he looks good. Yeah, he has one in Mexico. Where is that? Mexico City, July 11. Who is the guy? Jeff Satur. Jeff Satur. Jeff Satur. So he has one in Mexico. He's really good. Just check him out. I've done several reaction videos on him on my YouTube channel. So please check him out. Okay, so now for the Jeff is amazing. Yes. Jeff is amazing. Jeff Satori is an American Thai entertainer. Yes, he's an actor. He's a singer. He owns himself. He has his own label. He manages himself. He does have a distributor. Okay, so a lot of people are asking about the stocks because the stocks of HYBE actually started dropping during the American Music, or right after American Music Awards. It started dropping, and so people were asking me like, why did it drop? In fact, a BTS member actually won. I don't think it's connected to that. It's just that the stock market right now is just going crazy because everyone's so confused about what is happening with the economy, global economy. And I've mentioned several times that whatever happens to the US, the rest of the world gets affected because we are the world's, biggest reserve currency. So if things are uncertain here, everyone else, they're uncertain as well. So it started this confusion about the tariff getting implemented, getting not implemented, getting implemented again, whatever. And then there's this breakup of Trump and whatever. So all of these things, it affects the stock market because remember, the stock market is very, very speculative. It is not based on output of the company. So a company could really be good, performing well, but if people are not interested in you, they won't invest in you. And so that happened during that time. So I don't think it has anything to do with the AMA, the American Music Awards. So now, because tariff is now on pause for 90 days, then things are picking up again. That's why stocks are also picking up. So people are saying, oh, it's because of the lawsuit and whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that investors are not certain, and when they are not certain, they usually put their money in something that is more conservative, in assets that are more conservative. Real estate, cash is number one, so usually they would just do cash. And then the other thing is gold, silver, or real estate. Also, one of the biggest investors of all time, Warren Buffett, is getting older, and I feel like the reason he's actually liquidating a lot of his assets and he is affecting the economy no, not the economy, but the stock market, is because he feels like he's done. I think he wants to just enjoy his money. That's why he's liquidating a lot of his assets. So he's also affecting the market. So if you are going to invest, if you're going to start investing in the stock market, number one, you have to consult a financial advisor. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Second is that do not panic. So this is a long game. If you're going to get into the stock market, this is a long game. And we're talking like decades. This is not like 2 years, 3 years. No, this is decades. And you have to put it there and keep it there and weather the storm. It's going to go down, up, and whatever. So just keep on investing. And then when you're ready to retire, that's when you take it out. Okay. Next is, I have used Fidelity by any money, but any money manager investment firm can help. You need to watch for upfront fees. I use Vanguard and I use Fidelity. And then I have my 401k, I have an IRA, I maximize that every year. And then I also make my own investments. I do invest in cryptocurrencies. I have some Bitcoin, some, not one, like maybe half, not even half. And I have Ethereum, so I try to be as diversified as I could. So South Korea places restrictions on foreign buying stock, which means that to invest, you'll need to do extensive research and fill out appropriate proper. I actually used a manager to do my investing. I like having direct exposure, meaning, you know what an ETF is? An ETF does not give you direct exposure to specific stocks. It tracks it's a basket of, sorry, that's a proper term. It's a basket of stocks. So I also like having, outside of that, because that's what an IRA is. Outside of that, I like having direct exposure to certain assets. So you need a manager. Fidelity won't allow me to buy HYBE stocks. You need the manager to do that. Uh, an international buyer for you. Okay, some of you sent me some questions because there are some narrative going around, like, is Jimin not renewing his contract? I don't know where this came from. I say somebody asks, somebody is pushing that narrative block. Okay, just block. If somebody's like, oh, he's not going to renew, when he is off the military, he's not going to renew his contract with HYBE or with Big Hit, just block that person. Number one, Jimin is not going to share something as sensitive when they are about to come back. I know, like, this is just, he's not going to do that. And then the other thing is, the best response to this is, whatever he decides to do, we will support. So just tell them that. Anybody who tells you this, like, oh, it's whatever, just tell them whatever he decides to do, we will support. Whatever it is, he decides to leave, we will support. He decides to stay, we will support. That is the best response, because what they are waiting for is for you to get agitated. If you get agitated, they win. Okay, so anybody asks you that, just tell, okay, if he wants to leave, we will support him. If he wants to stay, we will support him. Jungkook solo tour rumor is prevalent. Is it true? I don't know. Again, the best response is, whatever he decides, we will support. If he decides to go on a tour first, do some solo activities, that's great. We will support. Doesn't he wants to rest? That's also great. Whatever he decides to do, let's just support all of them in whatever it is that they do. Always remember, what they want is for you to get agitated, to fight with them. Don't give them that satisfaction. Okay, another one. Oh, that's it. Actually, those are the questions that I've been asked. All 7 renewed before they entered. A lot of people actually aren't familiar with the type of contract that they have. No one is, and I don't know their type of contract. I've never seen their contract. But word on the street, these are just rumors. These are just rumors that the contract is really structured very, very differently. So that's why they never said the deadline as to when the contract is actually going to expire, because it's basically up to the BTS members when they want it to expire. It's structured differently. So anybody who's like, oh, he's not going to reach, it's like, you don't know what the contract is. Come on. So just always, if somebody says this member wants to do this and whatever, your standard answer should be, well, number one, you shouldn't even be engaging. So block those people. If they are showing up in your feed, that means that you are engaging with those tweets. And engaging means like even liking their tweet or just reading that is already an engagement. So if they are showing up, it means that you're engaging with them, and you shouldn't. So block. If for some reason you're stuck with something and you have to reply, the reply should be whatever it is that they do, we will support. Okay. Cover your ears and wear sunglasses when rumors are going around. Their contract lasts until 2025. From what I heard from Weavers, I don't count on anybody saying their contract is going to expire this and that. They never said it. So just listen to BTS. No, but nobody else. Just listen to BTS. They all own stock in HYBE. They aren't going anywhere. A lot of stocks, not just stocks, but a lot of stocks. T Style, the S American rumor came about because of the account with an event space there, but it's just a Ticketmaster account. There was no scheduled event. And also there's this popular account on X, and he has a lot of followers. This account has a lot of followers, and they keep on teasing a tour of the members. So it used to be just Jungkook, and then now they're going through each member. The first thing in my head is like, oh my god, they've been playing you for 3 years, and you're allowing them to play you. Like, they're obviously using you for clicks so that they can get more interaction and whatever. And you shouldn't allow that. Block them. Block this person. The only source of information should be official sources: Ticketmaster, BTS themselves, Big Hit, HYBE. Other than that, block them. Not 2025. What was the first? Well, 2035, not 2025. Stock was being shorted Stock was being shorted. Yes. So do you know someone shorted the stock of HYBE, which is kind of an ordinary thing in the stock market. A lot of people do this, but it's very risky. It's very, very risky. So essentially what you do is you kind of borrow a stock. So for example, um, I borrow the stock of this is just an example of a HYBE, for example. I'll borrow the stock and then I'll sell it to somebody else, but with a commitment to buy it back at some point. So I'll sell it, and then, for example, the stock drops. Yeah, the value of the stock drops. I'll offer to buy it back. So, for example, I sold it. I sold it for 100. This is just an example. I sold it for $100, right? So you will pay me $100. I have one stock. I sold it to you. You'll pay me $100, and then the stock dropped to $50. So then what I will do is buy back the stock for 50. But remember, when I initially sold it to you, I sold it for 100. That means I will make $50. So then I'll buy it back. I'll make $50 and give it back to. That's what shorted is, and that has happened so many times in the U.S. market. So someone did actually shorted the stock of HYBE, and that's ordinary thing. I mean, you know, if you have the a lot of people with the for financial bandwidth to do it, they do it. um okay, we have 5 minutes to go. Who was it that said that if they were BTS they'd have their company give them a throne? Their older brother in Big Hit, what's his name? Iyun. Iyun. If I were a member of BTS, he said I'd ask them to give me a throne. It gives you an idea on how much the entire, imagine every loan they filed, everything that they have done. The backbone of that is BTS. Anyone who has ever invested in them invested because they know BTS is there. So that name has a lot of value. So um, is it true, Miss Fairlane? Is this true, Miss Fairlane? Unfortunately, Busan did not secure the hosting rights for the 23 World Expo. The event was awarded to Ria. Yeah, that was announced like 2 years ago, or a year ago. Yes, they did not secure it. I mean, this is I think one of the craziest things for me is that they were counting on BTS to carry that campaign and didn't do anything about their military service. At the very least, I would think like, okay, can you make this count in their military service? Like all this time that they've actually poured into doing this campaign for Busan, we should count this in their military service, right? Like, so for example, if they worked on it for 2 months, then their service instead of 18 months will be 16 months. They didn't do that, not even that. So it's crazy for me. Like you wanted to use them, but you only want to do it like you only want to take, not give anything. So, but yes, they didn't secure the Busan, the World Expo. Okay. Any other travel tips? I'm a newbie. um, Going to Korea. So make sure that you rent either a SIM card, but that would mean you need a phone, or you can also rent the pocket Wi-Fi. So the only advantage of having a SIM card, a Korean SIM card, is that sometimes restaurants, when you're going to restaurants, they're so advanced. Here you fall in line, right? There, you can go anywhere. They just get your phone and then they'll text you when it's ready. So when your table is ready, especially if it's a long line or something. And then delivery, if you want things to be delivered to you, you would need a Korean phone number. So those are the advantages, and there are just a lot more services when it is a Korean number. So that's one advantage. So the only thing is that you need to have a phone that is open line so that you can use that. So that's one, and then make sure you get the metro ticket. I forget what it's called, the Kakao debit card. You put money in there and you use it not just for subway or buses or whatever. It can also be used as like a debit card. So you put your money in there and wherever you go, you can use that. So that, and then because it's going to be the summer, I've mentioned in my last live, make sure you have cold packs. This is the one that you break and then you put it inside your body so that you remain cold. And then have a mist fan, the one that you carry. You make sure that you have an umbrella, and lots of water, and of course sunscreen. So have fun, and then download Naver Maps. Google Maps won't work in South Korea. Well, it will work, but it will work poorly. So do get your South Korean. So get Naver Maps, and then wherever you're going and wherever you're coming from, always save the address in Hangul. So, for example, if you need to ask for directions, or if you're going to go ride a taxi or get a cab or something, you can just show it to them, and then they'll know where to go. They'll point you to where you need to go. So, the Hangul of the address is, and always remember that when they do the address, it's big to small. So it's usually like street, the area, the street, and the house number. Yeah. I have my umbrella. That's not enough. It's really hot. Well, I guess it depends on how good you are with the heat. I'm not so good with the heat. So I always like have a cold pack would help, and then water. And I also have like wet tissue, but the non-scented one, like the baby wipes. Because when it's so, I don't like perspiring, so I just wipe myself, and that would be like refreshing for me. But you're going to have a lot of fun. Make sure that you have a lot of space on your phone, because you're going to be taking a lot of pictures. Every place I have been to eat is good. I've never had a bad experience in Korea. Every restaurant I've been to, they're always good. So have fun. You always make sure, if you can, go to those, in TV dramas, Korean TV dramas. Oh, we're over 1 minute. Okay, this is my last thing. In TV dramas, you have this like tents that they put up at night, and then they would serve like soup and whatever, and then you have to like yell to be heard. Ajuma! Yogi! Those are really good. So make sure to try and experience that. Um and yeah, they are very, very friendly. They're very friendly people. You will love Koreans, and you will love the place. You will enjoy. So just take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos. There are not a lot of English speakers, but younger ones, they tend to speak a little English. But you can always try, like if you're really, really so confused, just ask people if they speak English, and at some point you're going to come across someone that actually speaks English. So have fun. Yeah, always go to those like tents. That they're good. The food in there is really, really good. It's just that you're gonna have to like really yell to be heard. Ajma! Yogi, yogi! If you don't yell, they will not pay attention to you because it's loud. But the food is good. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you. See you next week, I guess. And next week is when they are going to be